number is rare. So it's like in the old days, the people used to go and they used to go look for hadith. And they travel, you read these stories that people travel 1,000 miles to hear what the Prophet ﷺ said about something. And this time, we travel thousands of miles trying to find that person. And if you find that person, don't leave that person. Whatever you do, don't leave that person. And he'll put you through all these kinds of things, and sometimes you'll hate him, and sometimes you'll love him, sometimes you'll be frustrated and blah, because the teachings are difficult, but don't leave that person. Because, why? Because that's your ticket. That's like when you fall, the guy will pick you up, help you up, increase your understanding, so you don't fall into it. So, Ali said, and this is back in his time, how many are they? Where are they? Their number is small, but their rank is lofty. It is through them that Allah safeguards His witnesses until they transmit the truth to others who resemble them, and then they set in motion this joy of certainty and make easy what the indulgent find hard, and they are in this world in bodies in which their souls exist in the highest of realms. These are the khulafa. These are the people who call the people to Allah. Oh, how I yearn to see them. So that was the last thing I wrote about this thing of who. That's really the bottom line on the thing. Find that person wherever he or she is, because there are she's. A very, very great one in Palestine. Her name just went off of my mind. But and then there was in Egypt, and we've met women who are also in that position, and they are in that position. So they try to tell you that there's no women there. There are women in that position. I have problems with names. I don't remember names. Hajja Zakia and Fatima Yashrudi, two people in the last century, women in the last century who were great sheikhs, in truth. You know, Sidi actually studied with Fatima's brother, Ibrahim Yashruti, at one point. But Ibrahim Yashruti used to say, my sister knows far more than I know. Just the way the Prophet used to say about Aisha, radiallahu ta'ala anha, if you want to know about this deen, she can teach you half of this deen, right? There are women like that. There are not many, but there are. So that's why I say he or she, in this case. So that's the thing. If you found one, stick with it. No matter where it takes you and up and down and all the difficulties with it, stick with it, because that's the way. So I said here, this is in the end of the thing, said, I realized when I had finished this essay the night before that I was due to present it, that back on page 15 I wrote, this was when I was giving this paper originally, holding all of this in consciousness, I want to briefly touch on the teachings of the hidden Imam. Remember I talked about the hidden Imam? Okay. Was times called the man of light. Not as a figure in the future, because these people who are waiting for Al-Mahdi, alayhi salam. They say Al-Mahdi, or the people who are waiting for Jesus, peace be upon him. They say, when Jesus comes, everything's going to be all right. No, 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 no. Oh, yes, 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 but no, 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 no. Okay? Because you're waiting for something that's going to be in the future, right? Instead of something that is here and now. I'm the producer of a book called Be Here Now, by the way. Yes. Yeah, I know you have that book. Over 1 million people have that book. That was in another lifetime. I didn't write it, I just produced it, right? So, the figure of light, not as a figure of the future, but as a being in the present. This is what I'm trying to talk about, a being in the present. Not as a deferred promise, something that you've been promised that you don't have, but as a real presence in the here and now. And I got so busy writing about other dimensions of this basic proposition of the teacher and finding the teacher and necessity for the teacher and so on and so forth, which I've tried to share with you here, that I didn't really go so deeply into the subject of the hidden Imam or the man of light. And now, unfortunately, I'm working under a deadline because today is, you know, that day. And so, like, this is it, you know, I'm not going to do any more of this. And I'll go to something else maybe. So I have to deliver, I wrote here, I have to deliver this essay tomorrow. So rather than shortchange the reader, I've decided to cut and paste. And I won't give you a long story, I'm going to cut and paste. And you can find this in a book called, and I urge you to buy it, and you can get it on Amazon. If you say you don't have money, buy it used. You pay maybe 3 cents or 5 cents or 6 cents and $3.95 for shipping. Called The Man of Light in Iranian Sufism. Read this book. Never mind the title, read the book. It's readily available, it's inexpensive, and I strongly suggest that you acquire a copy. Go to a library if you can find one, or by purchasing it anyway. So I will give you even, I think, I hope. Is it here? Is it here? Yes, it's here. Oh, alhamdulillah. So let me, let me go. This is always filled with surprises, right? I tell you no, finish, but I'm going to give you something more. Najm Razi, who is a disciple of Najm al-Kubra, is the author of a mystical treatise in Persian, which is still in use in Iranian Sufism today. And I'm going to give you some of the, a bit of, an excerpt from that, okay? So what he talks about is the lights of majesty and the lights of beauty. Majesty we call that which is, the Jamal, okay? Rigor, inaccessible, sublimity, and beauty, fascination, attraction, graciousness, and so on. These are two great categories or attributes which refer respectively to the divine being as Deus absconditus, the one you can't see, and Deus revelatus, the one you can see. Beauty being the supreme theophany, divine self-revelation. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's springtime in the Appalachians, or it's springtime somewhere, and you walk out one morning and all the world, it had rained the night before, and the world is green, unbelievable green after the death of winter, and little buds, or each little bud is popping from the tree, flowers are blooming, the smell is in the air, it's clean. This is the revelation of Allah as seeing Allah. But then there's the revelation of Allah when Musa says to Allah, "Oh Allah, let me see you." He says, "You can't see me." He says, "Let me see you." Remember what I said the other day? What did I say? You ready for it? Boom! Yeah, that's what I said, right? He blew up the mountain over there like that, right? The mountain blew up, and Musa fell over Saika, and he blown away, right? Because you can't see that. That's Deus abscondicus. You can't see that because that's like unseeable. Because when you look at it, it goes, I won't do it again, but it goes like that, and it's the difference of that spring morning, right? So these are the two kinds of things, two kinds of revelation of Allah, right? We both understand what we're talking about here, right? Okay? So there's an interplay between beauty, majesty of beauty, and the fascinating beauty of inaccessible majesty, like that, that thunderstorm or that volcano or whatever it is, like it's just blows you away, absolutely. So this interplay is even such that Najm al-Kubra, when principles perceives a transference corresponding to a mutual exchange, and again this is something that I mentioned yesterday, of masculine and feminine attributes. And to suggest that their twofoldness is necessary. You see, that's where those people who, push this idea of patristic religion are stupid. It's the simplest thing to call it, stupid. Because nothing is without man and woman. That's Mediterranean paganism. That's what I think it is, Mediterranean paganism, right? There's men and there's women, alhamdulillah. And both are necessary, and both men contain men and women contain women and men, don't they? It's not that there's women that are just all women and not men, and there's men that are all men and not women. It's mixed, right? But to try and, that's where you get these people go and kill people because their pants are too short or something, or too long, or, or whatever it is, I mean, blow up airplanes or things like that. That's the madness model, the gentleman's quarterly madness model, whatever you want to call it. So Sufi Abu Bakr Wasiti says that this attribute of majesty and the attribute of beauty intermingle. All of the great sheikhs will tell you that. And from their union, spirit is born. And the son is an allusion to a partial reality, the father and the mother an allusion to a total reality. And according to Najm Razi, pure lights and colored lights refer to the attributes of beauty. So we can talk about the black light, we can talk about the physiology of the man of light, we can talk about unveilings, we can talk about all of these things which are familiar, people can understand, but I'm finished. So when they say you're finished, you're finished.